Magically, I have all my photos in order from when COVID kicked in. There was a couple different catalysts for it, but I went through every fucking photo I had and put them in chronological order. That seems ridiculous to me now. That's weird looking at photos from 22 years ago. And like them not feeling like they're 22 years old. I always get psyched on like actually looking at the pages because of how much stuff I never scanned in. Or photos like you didn't think that were anything. Ruben's bag of tricks. Giant. I was in the McNeil catalog, that's what it was. Look at this photo. Here, look. Check it out. Rooftop, him doing a bubak on this love seat at that, I forget the name of the pool, but it's like pretty famous. The Etnies video forward, it really seemed like filming started to ramp up for that, like say, sometime in 2000-ish, I want to say, because it just kind of went hand in hand with when I started getting hurt a lot. All the way at the beginning, like the beginning of that year and up to that summer, like I was having such a good year, and then there was like this crazy string of injuries. I was like, I broke my thumb, and then that like led to like all these tendon problems like in my hand, like to where I couldn't grip. And then I hurt my back really bad. Like I crashed the one night, and then it was like right before we went to Spain the first time. I blew my knee out right when I got back from Spain, rehabbed it, and like a week later went on a trip that was going up to Woodward, and we were going somewhere else, and like first or second day at Woodward blew it out again. And so, you know, it was at that time, you know, without like not being able to do anything riding wise when riding was like my life. Kind of one of the ways I thought that I might be able to contribute in some way, since all my friends like, you know, had a lot going on, was to like learn how to shoot photos a little bit. And it was on that Spain trip, Frymouth was like shooting photos, and he's the first one that ever like brought about like, oh, you can meter off this. He showed me how to do it on one photo, and I got my photos back, and I was like, holy shit. And yeah, then it was just like this giant experiment the whole time I was hurt. And it was cool because then when I was healthy again, it was like an equal battle of, because I was so used to shooting photos and I was getting so much from it. It wasn't just a go-to to ride all the time. I like wanted to still shoot photos too. And it was a really strange thing, I remembered, because in my head, I thought I should be thinking ride, 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 ride. But now it was countered with this thing that I enjoyed a whole lot. Oh God, the whole fucking Roscoe skit. With the stuffed dog. I thought Taj's part was really good. I thought it was really creative. I liked how much of his part had everything from like some really just fun Taj type tricks in it, tricks or whatever you want to say, like all the picnic bench stuff, and I just thought it was a cool, like just all around part. But Ruben's part was just so mind blowing that, I mean, it was just so, yeah, I don't even know a word for it. Where he was at in his riding at the time and his mindset and just everything was just so elevated. That was like a really, really cool time in riding to be around him. And I felt lucky just because of how much time with him having moved here, and we got a front row seat for it all. I think just the pre-internet era, people held stuff in a different place, you know, because everything wasn't so accessible. So if something that had a lot of effort behind it came out, it was going to be around for a while. It's not like it would be forgotten about in a week, you know. I mean, people probably would have been playing the video like multiple times a day for the first week, you know, wearing out the tape. And these are special to me because it was just all my friends. You know, it was very surreal that there was a company behind a good portion of my friends that we just got to travel together and hang out the way we would have normally anyway. So to also have some sort of like backing to go do stuff and present a realm that created stuff like Forward, it's just very, very surreal. You know, it does, I can't even believe it happened. When you're just psyched on doing something, there's nobody like that's taking a step back being like, wow, this is really cool, this is worth this. Because you got to think that like everybody's just firing out ideas and stuff of like things they just really love. And to me, that's like something that I always like thought about the early days of DIG, that it was so easy to tell that like what was going on was the end result of this group of people that were just putting things that they loved or thought was funny or whatever, and there was no filter, you know. And it was like, because of the relationship and the friendship amongst all them, there wasn't saying like, it didn't seem like it was being said as being like, no, we can't use that, oh, you know, there wasn't any of that. And it just seemed, you know, it seemed just like a very well put together like local zine, but it was more than that, you know. And the quality was amazing, the writing was great, it was funny, the pictures were fucking so cool. And the only thing that could create that is like a group effort that all like respected one another and didn't feel like anyone was more important than the other. And it was just like really, really cool. DIG photo, plenty of light blurs, and you don't know what's going on, but looks cool. I think that really ingrained, not the head chop, but the tire chop. You can accentuate like the height that people are going and stuff. Even till this day, like I purposely frame stuff like that. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, Roadfuls too. Maybe the fuzzy photo. I do think that was the first thing I read printed. Yeah, I don't remember what my first riding photo was in DIG. It had to have been like, yeah, that's real blurry. I thought the Burnside one was cool, just for so many different reasons, you know. Burnside was like this story-like place, and there was just so many things that went into that I was just, yeah, I was so stoked on that. The thing that's also kind of funny is that it never seemed like we really, at least like in a few of those years, like ever set out to shoot photos. They just kind of happened, you know. It was almost just like you're riding and somebody would take a photo. And so in that sense, it never felt like, it was just like a natural extension. I think that they all tied together really closely for me just because they were all things I cared about a lot. Do this. I was probably like 4 or 5 there. Tornado appears.